Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a great day to wake up. It really truly is. Win or lose, sure everybody wants to win, but everybody wants to wake up the next day too. And you want to wake up and you want to feel good about what effort you put out there. And I got to tell you,
Mhm.
the effort that the Green Bay Packers put out there yesterday, they have no reason to be ashamed of themselves. I am very proud of the Packers, very proud of the Niners, very proud just to be alive and be able to see that game. I'm really just on cloud nine, David. Good
Yep.
morning. I hope you're doing great this morning. I hope you have a cup of coffee. Super happy everybody's here in the chat. We got a full house today. Cheers, everybody. Let's start this show. How you doing, David?
I'm good. The performance yesterday, I kind of, we'll get into that, I guess, here in a minute. But the Packers, they did. They stood up. They played hard. They weren't going out without a fight. So you got to give them credit. They're a young team, not much playoff experience. The coach has playoff experience, but all the players they've been bringing in don't have much playoff experience. And next year, they're going to be scary. I'm not going to lie. They don't have big free agent departures. They don't have a slew of coaches leaving. No one's getting fired. Next year, they're going to be scary.
Yeah, scary, proud of themselves. They should be confident. They should have really high hopes for next year. They just stick together, stay grounded, and keep that prize in front of them, and just stay one thing ahead of themselves. Not don't get ahead of themselves. Just stay humble, right? I think staying humble is the key to almost everything. David, I like to. I think I've maybe done this already this year, but I think it's time to coin the season. Moody. Okay, and the reason I want to say that, not because of necessarily the kicker, but the kicker's last name. There's like semblance. There's symbolic reasons, right? There's if you look for something, there's a circle, right? There's like a meaning, a connection to everything. So what was really funny to me, looking at the kicker and hearing Robbie Gold wanted to come back, but the Niners didn't want to pay a bunch of money for him, and truly not really caring how much money he wanted. I just liked Robbie Gold, but seeing him getting up in age and the limitations with maybe his leg, but him being confident and a veteran, having that familiarity where people are comfortable with you and feeling like, hey, no matter what happens, this guy has experience. We can depend on him, right? So what's happened is the Niners maybe outpriced themselves, or Robbie Gold outpriced themselves. It's about being around your family too. It's about being happy, and you have kids. You want to see them grow up. You don't want to live in a hotel room, but sometimes you do things that sacrifice for your family in the long run. Not everybody's blessed to make millions of dollars. Not everybody's blessed to play in the NFL either. And if you're playing in the NFL, it doesn't mean you're making millions of dollars. It's just the simple fact. So he had an opportunity maybe to take a pay cut and continue to play and live in a hotel room throughout the season. My kids are homeschooled, so I'm not saying that's for everybody, but his family wants to be in Chicago. He was drafted in Chicago. So now again, guys, full circle. Sometimes it takes me a long time to get to where I'm going. So in 1994, 1995, Doug Bryant, the 49ers first kicker drafted, right? We bring him in, and guess what? We had him on the year one time, 1 year, and we let him go. Wins the Super Bowl, bounces around, ends up in Chicago. When he retired, there was this young cat coming into town named Robbie Gold. Well, Robbie Gold bounced around after being a legend in Chicago and taking that man's job. That man, Doug Bryan, retired. Robbie Gold again. He put up a great career. He's a veteran. He bounced around to a couple teams, and then he made it to the 49ers. And when he came to the 49ers, we already knew about his experience and, him being just a playmaker and clutch. Clutch is a great word for him, right? And then what happens? He gets to a point where we are saying, okay, well, you are getting up there in age. You do ponder the yonder. You are talking about maybe retirement, going and being around your kids a little bit. So, what do you want to do? Well, you're really set on this $5 million, $4 million. Well, we really need to get cheaper so we can get other players, or facilitate trades and make lucrative deals. Like we have a goal too, and we want to win the Super Bowl. It's not just for you; it's for all these other people on the team. It's for all these fans that you may or may never ever think of. So football is something that's great. It really, at the end of the day, it brings people together to cheer for one thing, to celebrate and to bond and to join, be merry, cheer. Right? It's about emotions and feelings, but it has absolutely no bearing. It doesn't really matter at all. It really doesn't. Maybe, in a health, aspect, people running around, that's good for your body, but hitting people and getting, the trauma and breaking bones and stuff like that, that's not good for anybody, or tearing ligaments. That's not safe. There's other things that we could do with our time. But again, people, their egos, they want to compete. People want to say, I'm the greatest, and they want to say, I'm the greatest. I've achieved this. No one else can. And people want to see it. People want to be a part of it. They want to be part of it. And they want to say, I was there. I'm a part of that. That's my family. That's my culture, right? So now we have Jake Moody, who replaced Robbie Gould. And the guy's last name is Moody, right? And a lot of people got upset that we could have went in a different direction in the draft. They said, oh, we could have went this way or that way. We could have went and got an O-line or this. I'm the coach. I'm the fan, right? Fanatic. Fanatic means fan, right? It's just it's half the word. We break it down. We chop it up a little bit. But fanatic means you love it, right? You got to get it all. You got to get something, right? You can't get enough.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at this whole thing, people were upset because they did. They wanted a better player, maybe best player available, an offensive lineman. They maybe didn't trust what we had going on or didn't understand the philosophy. Well, the coach and the team thought the best player right there at that time was a kicker, because our kicker was retiring, and we're going for a kicker that has a lot more of a leg, a little bit more of an ability. Younger, maybe we can get a lot more seasons, a little bit more of a return out of him, maybe a career from him. But you got to give somebody a chance too, right? You can't just like put a quarterback in, they throw a couple interceptions, and then you never let him play again. Same thing with the kicker. Kicker goes up and kicks, he can miss, but the important thing is to keep that person's confidence up and don't let them know that the world is falling. And if it is falling and the sky is falling, then you have a plan to get under the ground, or something, how to hold it up, or we have a solution, right? Because remember, there's a 53-man roster. It's not all on one person. It's on the team. And then it's not just on the 53-man roster. It's on the coaching staff. It's on the training. It's on the owners. It even breaks down to being on the fans. Because if you get out there and you start booing everybody and you make people get into their moods and their feelings, and they get up in their head, and then they can't facilitate or orchestrate or operate, then at the end of the day, you don't want to cheer for injuries unless there's something in your head, and everybody's in their own head for their own reasons thinking that way. But nobody really wants to root for injuries. You want to beat somebody at their optimum, their highest peak, right? You want to beat them when they're the best. So then you can say, hey, it was clean. It was all advantages. You don't take a gun to a knife fight, right? I mean, maybe you do if you're smart, right? But no, if it's supposed to be a fist fight, it's fist, right? Knives are knives. But when you're healthy and the other person's healthy, then everybody wants just to sit down and see what's the end result after the game, right? So I want to coin this season the Moody season, because one, we've lost friends, family. It happens every year, but this year I think it's really changed, and I think it's just really changed my perspective on really just football. Last night, after seeing the Niners nearly lose the game, with 6 minutes left in the game, looking at my wife and praying and hoping that we didn't go down 28 to 17, and thinking, in what scenario are we going to be able to possibly pull this situation out? We're struggling to score a touchdown on offense. and we're going to go all the way down the field and try to put 2 touchdowns up against a team that has really having no issues driving the ball against us. I looked at my wife, Tony, and I said, hey, I don't think we're going to win this. I don't want to give up hope, but I think we lost. I think we lost. And that we had 6 minutes left in the game. Just a little bit more than 6 minutes in the game. And then you know what happened? They missed the field goal. And as much as everybody wants to rag on field goal kickers, and everybody who has heard me before should know I love special teams. I love kickers. I love the underdog. I like the people that, can be that hero. Maybe you're the villain, but, you have that ability to save the world or save that moment, right? You can save the day. He missed. And that gave the Niners life. That gave the Niners an opportunity to go down the field, and they did what they did. And I kept just telling her, just run the ball, run the ball. And I had your voice in my head saying, run the damn ball, just run the ball, right? And they did. And there was a couple of times where it got scary there, and they had to rely on 3rd and Juwan, and we had Kittle make a play, and we just had everybody just come at that moment and wake up and realize what the goal is. The goal is you've been competing, training for such a long time. Since 2017, you've been coming together, adding players. This is a community. We've seen you get to the Super Bowl. We've seen you lose it. Now we'd like to see you win it. And if you don't win it, we're still going to be happy. We're still going to be proud of you. It's about the journey and the experience. And if you win or you lose, the most important thing is you wake up the next day. And after the game last night, David, I didn't go to sleep. I really didn't. I just sat there and just thought, like the Niners win the Super Bowl this year. What an awesome experience. How great is that for all these other people out there that's never seen a Super Bowl? And then I started thinking about it. Is it fair? No, life's not fair. It never will be. And that's why you get up every day and you try. And if you have a goal, you can set it and you say, hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to win the World Series or the NBA championship, right? Or I'm going to win a NASCAR race, or I'm going to paint a wall and I'm going to fix that hole in the drywall, and no one's going to ever know, right? Again, humble, modest decisions, modest goals. Not everybody's going to be a doctor in life. It's not your goal. It's not your path. Maybe you want to be, but you're not. Some people are landscapers and they cut grass and they do a damn good job. So again, just being humble about and proud of what you are and your family and who you are, and just really just understanding who you are. That's what I think this season has taught me. And that's why I want to coin it the Moody season. Losing Corey really changed and opened my eyes, because he helped me understand, you don't have to necessarily like somebody. And Corey didn't say it like this, but you don't have to make somebody feel unwanted. And more importantly, it's about their feelings, making somebody feel good. And, it might be the last conversation you have with the person. You still want that person to feel good about themselves, and you feel good about yourself. So it's about respect and people's feelings and their moods. And David, I'm going to give it to you, but that's what I'm coining this season, the Moody season, because after everything happened, the 49ers were able to overcome their feelings and their obstacles, and we're going to the NFC Championship game, and we're hosting it at Levi's. So thank you for my rant, and thank you for listening to me. And David, again, thank you for streaming with me, man. I'm so glad that we were able to experience this together. Cheers, and I hope we get many more of these days to come.
Well, after last night's game, there should be alcohol in that coffee. I'm not going to lie, folks. It was insane.
No alcohol for me since Corey's passed, and I think it's made me feel a lot better too. I'm not saying I don't.
I haven't. I think I've drank twice since he passed. One time live on YouTube.
I just want to slow down, and when I do want to drink, I want to make sure that I feel good about it. Not because I feel like I need it. So.
I noticed those 2 bottles of Gold Bar whiskey behind you are just chilling and haven't moved. I did notice that.
Yeah. Yeah. Some stuff is for
But
decoration too. Those are empties. But the one right here, I'll show you real quick. This one I will open when and if we do, and it's not if, but when we win the Super Bowl, I'm opening this. This one right here. We are popping it. It's a bottle of champagne, and we are going to enjoy it. Maybe spray it all over the kitchen or the living room floor or something. I don't know. I just want the moment and to feel that celebration when they do win the Super Bowl and they host the Lombardi. I can celebrate with them and uncork that, if that makes sense.
yeah, that does. I mean, this season, that there was a lot of ups, couple downs here and there, 3-game losing streak. Then we hit the Eagles game and had everything going on with Corey, and when I was told he was sent home on hospice, I was like, my mom was a nurse, my whole life when I was a kid, all the way to now, and I had an idea what that meant, and I was sad, and I knew what was going on with him, and it's been going on for quite some time. I was just hoping that, he'd be around to see us win a Super Bowl. And unfortunately that didn't happen, and death is the saddest part of life. And lately it's, been around a little too much. We lost Laura Cat, and she was a nice lady. She was a
Yeah,
very nice lady.
really nice lady.
Supported all of us. My daughter's grandma on her mom's side, just a few weeks ago. And I still haven't actually heard why on that, what happened. But I'm honestly thinking it was an unseen medical issue. She did not like going to the doctor. So everyone out there, you have loved ones, you have people that care about you. Go to the doctor and occasionally get a physical. You never know what they're going to catch. My sister, a few years back, had cancer. And she fought it. And, she's still with us. She beat it. And she goes to the doctor every 3 months to get everything checked out to make sure that, it's not coming back. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone, please take care of yourself. I go to the doctor, I get physicals. My doctor is actually kind of funny. He's like, "Why are you here again?" Well, just to be safe. I have a 23-year-old daughter that doesn't want me going anywhere anytime soon. But, back to the 49ers season. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. This last game, I was watching it going, what is going on? I thought we'd come out after having some rest and be like, beast mode, beat these guys down maybe. And Niner Faithful Radio, he had a stream going pregame, and I gave a score prediction, 24-20. It was pretty close. I expected Green Bay to put up a fight because they were probably the hottest team in the NFC going in. A lot of people will say the Rams were. Rams won 2 games by the opposite team missing the game-winning field goal. I don't look at them like they were the hottest team going in. The Packers were. And, this season of love, we were, making jokes about that. But at the same time, I've been saying he's not a bad quarterback. He just needs right coaching and needs to be properly developed. He's really raw. Similar situation to a quarterback we had that, we traded away before the season started. just needs playing time, needs to get reps, and that's something a team that's ready to win right now. It's a hard thing to do unless you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Then you can, bring the kid along, have him a couple years. And if you didn't watch the Packers this season, the first half of the season was kind of rough for them. And Jordan Love wasn't necessarily playing great, but he was getting in-game reps, which can't be replicated. You can't replicate an in-game rep in practice. So, and he's come right along. He's next season probably going to be a top 10 quarterback. How far up that list? We don't know. We'll see. But he showed up yesterday. He was playing hard. I am so glad that Lenore and Greenlaw didn't look rusty. I mean, without those two, where would we be right now? But our team actually looked rusty. I guess you can have too much rest. I guess. But now, knocked it all off. We got back to playing the game. Purdy had a comeback victory. He walked us down the field. And it was very fitting that CMC ran the game-winning touchdown. And that was, one of the best players on the field. I just looked at that like that was very fitting. And even more fitting, there's Greenlaw getting the game-winning interception. Guy that had played his tail off all game, and I thought it was, what do you think about, like, when he was running it back, the announcers are like, get down, what are you doing? Get down. I was laughing. I'm like, this is Greenlaw. He don't want to go down. He wants to get in the end zone.
Yeah, I was like, well, he's trying, right? And he got very, very close. And then that's when I was like, oh man, just go down so you don't have an injury. Just go ahead and don't commit, don't submit yourself, but just go down, go down and show them that you're giving up, and we got this win, man. You just won this game. Real big shout to everybody in the chat and this one as well.
Yeah, it's popping.
Big shout out to Mimi J. Salute to you. And yes, we appreciate you coming through. Please like and subscribe to both channels. And we frequently talk about Corey Davis here, and we will carry him along because he is our buddy. And we're not done yet. This is the season. This is quest for Corey and quest for Laura Cat. The Niners quest for 6. The numbers don't matter anymore. This goal this year is for those two. That's and if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Because their memory is still with us and they're still part of our team. But we appreciate you coming through. And I hope you come back through as well, because we talk about Corey quite a bit here. Green Bay fan at the bar kept giving me the evil eye. Give him it back. And then we got It's the Kids in the house, Bebop, Melissa's in the house, Donald Johnson, Solely 684. Oh man, the chat
Crazy
is popping.
Juice.
Thank you. Damian Lee.
We got him in the chat. SG Sports Talk, Shardall showed up.
Let's go. So we got Crazy Juice saying good morning. We have Tito right here. Tito, man, we got that win, buddy. We got that win.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, this is just an awesome day. I feel very good. Sure, the kick earlier in the game, Moody kicked it, and there was some fingers that got up. David, I think they're listening to us, because we were talking to Josue yesterday, and I was asking him, do the Packers did anybody tell them about maybe getting their hands up? And, and it was about when really Purdy was out there quarterbacking, because that's what the Ravens did. Some of those passes that he had came off of tips, because what happened? They got their hands up.
Yep.
I got these things. I don't do anything with them. Well, put them up in the air and wave them like you don't care. No, swat at it or whatever. And that's what they did on the kickoff. Somebody jumped at the right time, put their hand up, and then they got some fingers on it, and that ball went to the left, and he got an opportunity to come back at the end. And I'm really glad because we need every point we can get. Every point adds up. Every point. Good morning, Caitlin. Thank you for coming. Daniel Lee with the Cowboys banner coming back through. Cowboy fans are haters and jealous. Yes. But they're keeping that team together. And that's surprising because I would have thought, it's going to be rebuild and, let's get everybody out of here and we got to go in a different direction. But Jerry Jones, he's believing keep everybody together maybe a little longer. We'll see what happens. They're gonna keep running it back, I guess, until they can't run anymore. I don't know, David. I don't know.
The Cowboys are going to be a mess until Jerry Jones decides to hand it to someone else. He's old school. Football these days has changed. It's evolved big time, and you can't take an old school approach to the game. Like Pete Carroll, he played an old school brand of football, and it was dated. He's still winning games. They still went 9-8, and had a chance at making the playoffs. They did. They had one. They're actually. You remember the stream we did way before the season started about who's going to make the playoffs and who's not?
Mm-hmm.
I missed one in the NFC. I had the Seahawks instead of the Rams. And if they would have hit that kick at LA, it would have been the Seahawks instead of the Rams. That's how close I was to getting that right. The AFC, I think I picked, let's see. I think I had the Bills, Chiefs, Dolphins, Raven. I think I picked the Bengals though instead of the Ravens. Who would have thought Joe Burrow would have got hurt after he, the game after he played us, right? But the wild card teams, I did not have the Texans making it. I did have the Steelers. I'm trying to remember here. That's pretty much all I can remember at this point from that stream. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. It was a long time ago. But I was close.
Hey, it's all about guesses and feelings. Like sometimes when I do my picks and stuff, it's because I don't necessarily like this team or, I have my underlying motives. Like I don't want this team to win. I want this team to win. If they win here, then it's going to put pressure here. So it's, it's a strategic battle. It's about math, I guess. Everything has to have the right equation. Did you see the private chat? Possibly. The chat is popping. But I am definitely excited. We have 2 games to talk about today, and then we could probably go from there.
I would say yes. Just
Okay.
be careful about make them show their face. We don't want to incident like what happened with Jesse Naylor.
All right, folks. We appreciate you all for coming. Please make sure you like and subscribe to both channels. If you'd like to come in, we'll bring you in for a couple minutes, and we'll go from there. We appreciate you all. So please, if you'd like to come on, make sure you're polite, professional, and courteous. And it's about people's feelings. And remember, we coined it moody. All right. So today we have 2 games. I don't know what the order of them are, but we have the Detroit Lions, but it should be really the Buccaneers going to Detroit. And then we have the Bills, the Chiefs playing the Bills. So I'd imagine just how things operate. It's probably going to be Detroit early, and then it'll be Bills at nighttime, if I'm correct. And I'm just guessing. Shout out to Wolf. We got a wolf sighting.
Ooh, look at that. We better see some Mitchell next time. You ain't lying. It was like, why? And I'm wondering, this is a question for Kyle. Why did you get pass happy in the rain, buddy? You know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 running backs that can run the rock. Just run the rock, they were stacking the box knowing that it's a rainy game. They're probably going to run the ball. I'm pretty sure every NFL team does that. But at the same time, you're getting 3.5 yards of carry, 3 carries. That's first down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were actually containing Aaron Jones until he broke that humongous runoff. That's like my thumbnail for today was CMC and him. I don't do QB thumbnails.
I try to do special teams as much as possible because I don't imagine too many people are trying to put a punter out there on YouTube or a long snapper. But if I put a kicker or something out there, somebody might just get a kick out of it. Who knows? Somebody might actually be searching YouTube and see their face and be like, "Hey, I like that guy," and I might subscribe to that guy because I like that picture of that guy that I look like in the mirror. So yeah, I have my selective targets. I have my underlying right. We're going in a direction that hey, if it happens, it happens. Shout out to Dina. Thank you so much, Dina, for coming through. I hope you were able to enjoy the game yesterday. I know it was late back there. Tony was saying that you didn't get to go to your normal meetup, but we really do appreciate you. All right, so we have a friend coming in. And remember, everybody, I dropped the chat. I dropped the link. If you'd like to come in for a couple minutes, we'll bring you in, and then we'll rotate people in and out so we can get everybody's, give a little bit more personal attention to everybody. All right, so further introduction, coming to the show, we have Mr. John J.
Good morning, everybody.
What's going on, John? Yeah, I was gonna pop in your stream like last night. I was on the phone with a few folks, so I couldn't get in time. But what happens?
Yep.
So, how is your overall feelings of the Packer game yesterday, John?
I actually felt the game was going to go like that. I think I was probably the only one who felt the Packers were actually going to do something because all week the Packers are not good. The Packers are not good. The media, the last 9 games, the Packers played horrible teams. Well, it's still the NFL, so that was the narrative. And I said, I don't know what the media is talking about. And the Packers played really well. They played really well. They moved the ball down the field. They had a lot of opportunities to score. Niners made a lot of mistakes. But at the end of the game, Brock Purdy, one of the reasons why everyone is wondering why not Trey Lance, why not keep Jimmy. Brock Purdy went down the field, set up for a game lead touchdowns that we took the lead and we won. And so shout out to Brock Purdy. That should silence his critics. What a good game for him. He didn't play great at all. I'm not saying, let's not forget what happened the whole 4 quarters, but in that moment, he went down the field and boom, and we scored a touchdown. Then the Niners played good defense. We got the interception, and now we're moving on to the next round. But the Niners do have to, oh my gosh, they have a lot of questions that they still have to address, mostly the pass defense. We made Jordan Love look really good, and Jordan Love is good. He's really improved since he's been in the NFL. In college, he was okay, but in the NFL, wow, he showed why he's a good quarterback.
Well, I think there was a lot of things that happened yesterday. And what I'm getting at is there was the rain elements. There was a moment where he put the glove on and then he took the glove off. It was kind of like, I don't know, do we want to be funny and say like an O.J. Simpson, moment? Does the glove fit? If it doesn't fit, then we should quit, right? Or something like that. But no, it wasn't just all about that. But he said the glove didn't feel right. So he came back out. Some people, they like protection. Some people, they like skin. They just say it feels better, right? Well, it just wasn't working with them to begin with. And then, later on in the field, throughout the game, we've seen everybody slipping. And I remember this being a big problem in Candlestick, Monster Park, 3Com, The Stick, whatever you want to call it. and it's not whatever you want to call it. We know what it's called. It's called Candlestick. But they used to always have a slippage problem. It's funny like that. Because where the location of the stadium was, there was like actually water that would absorb up underneath the field, and originally it was a AstroTurf stadium, so it was all on concrete. And when they did that, after and they switched it to grass, they always seem to have some kind of issue with it. So maybe they didn't put the right dirt in. I don't know, but the water always seeped in and made it really soggy. So the players knew where to and what they needed to do, but the new teams coming in, the visitors coming in, it took them till about second quarter, third quarter to adjust. And you'd hear it, like you go back to the 98 games, the 97 games, stuff like that. You'd hear it, the commentators talking about it, Candlestick, they got to change their cleats. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to bring in, we're going to go ahead and tell you thank you very much for coming. Okay, we're going to go ahead and plug your channel, and I'm going to bring Melissa in after you because we want to give everybody attention. So, John, what do you got going on for the rest of the day, and where can everybody find you?
That's the logo right there, 49ers Ultimate Report. Just type it in. I do Niners content. Good. We're gonna have another good week. We're gonna have a NFC Championship week. Either it's gonna be Niners Lions or Niners Bucks, and hopefully we can have a Super Bowl week next week. But thanks for having me on.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much for coming, and you have a great day, and look forward to talking to you next time. All right, so we're going to bring in Melissa, also known as Izzy. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate your support in the channels, your friendship throughout the community. You bring people together, and you make people feel great, and I hope you feel great as well. And speaking about feeling great, how do you feel about the Packers? And I think you have a little bit of a family rivalry thing going on. So how's the house in your corner?
It's not little at all. I called out my dad for comforting my brother last night, and my brother stormed up the stairs and he goes, "You guys did not win. We lost the game." And he goes like on this like big tangent, and the entire time I'm just smiling because in our adulthood, that's like 5 in a row the Niners have beaten the Packers in the playoffs. And out of all the players that my brother could take a shot at, he took a shot at Jay Greenlaw, but then in the same breath, he defended Jawan Jennings. And I've been bullied by this community about Jawan Jennings. I mean, I'd show up in Breezy's chat. I didn't even say a single thing about 15 Jawan Jennings. Nothing. I just said hi to like one person in the chat, and I get like slammed by Mose, or Callie would give me so much crap. Like he would be my defender. Like when my former friend would bully me for being a cheerleader supporter, he would be the one be like, "Yeah, this guy's talking about you." And then as soon as he said I couldn't man up and admit I was wrong about Jawan Jennings, like he started becoming my bully. And like the fact that that's the one person my brother came up and like supported and took him up clutch last night, like I can't stop grinning right now. Like I lost my voice last night, but I'm just so happy.
Yeah, I feel like I had a great experience last night with my family, my brother and his girlfriend, fiance. They spent the night over, and we enjoyed the game. It was just great. I really just laid on the couch. I just truly felt paralyzed from the whole experience, if that makes sense to anybody. I mean, like literally,
No,
like
I
cloud.
get it. Like I got nauseous last night. Like I got really scared. I'm not gonna lie. I really did think that this was gonna be a close fight. Like I think on your pick show and a bunch of other places, I said I thought it was gonna be 24-14. I knew it was gonna be tight. I knew it was gonna be one of those like sloppy rain games, and I was cool with that. I didn't think it was gonna get that close and that like panicky. But at the end of the day, the clutch people who had to be clutch came up clutch, and that's all you really can ask for. Like the fact that it's also people who've been blasted by this fan base just makes it even special, more special. Like Drake Greenlaw's been slammed by this community. Like, you remember, like, a couple years ago, everyone was like, it should be a Cesar Shayer. Like, you remember, like, after the Broncos game, what was it, week 3 in 2021, I think? When we went to Denver and we lost. And Dre had one of his sloppiest games, and they extended him, and everyone freaked the hell out. Like, why are you paying this guy? And like now he's like the hero all over my timeline and everything else. And crazy thing is, I got into it with Christian last night because in this morning, because I said that one catch that Jawan Jennings made, the one that went like high up in the air. I said that was a hospital ball, and he took offense to that. And I didn't mean to take a shot at Purdy, and I still don't. It's just passes like that, like we're all still programmed to be freaked out about those kind of passes. You know, like in past, it was either too high or George Kittle will have his knees taken out from under him. Like I wasn't taking a shot at the throw. I wasn't taking a shot at the quarterback. I was simply happy that we in a clutch situation we threw up a high pass to a receiver who's tall and physical and is well aware of how to not only take advantage of such an opportunity, but to bring it in a clutch moment. And so when I called it a hospital ball, I was simply more praising Jawan Jennings for coming up big in that moment than taking a shot at Purdy. And I apologized to him. And then, of course, whenever a woman apologizes or gets any kind of defensive about something, I got slammed with the emotional thing, and I had to get emotional. And that's not what it was. But I just wanted to come on and celebrate with the both of you because, like, you two are, like, two of the best people I know. And like this everything. So I wanted to celebrate the second I saw David in all the chats last night. So thank you guys for letting me on.
Hey, no, we really appreciate you. Me and David like to try to keep it positive. We like to think of us as like the dynamic duo. David and me both have our own, journeys and stuff, but we were able to find each other. Again, we were able to find each other, through friendship, through John Jay's channel, through Corey Davis, and from there, we've been able to work together and make a lot of friends, have a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about. So feelings again is important because sometimes feelings can make people treat a person a certain way or make people understand a certain aspect that they don't necessarily get, right, or realize. So again, I like coining this season the Moody season, and we're going to keep it going.
Don't apologize about that because I will tell you this right now. The only thing sweeter than believing in someone and not turning your back on them and literally living up to the name faithful about a player, it is when you had the belief from day one, you fought for them, you defended them, you believed in them when nobody else would, or when anyone would take a pot shot at you. And then when it gets that day, because it will get to that day when they shine and everyone's like, oh my God, look at what this guy did. Like, I cannot tell you, Bryant, the feeling that makes your heart soar. Like, you won't be able to sleep. You will have goosebumps just thinking about it. And I promise you, like, stay the course. Like, keep defending Mitch Wishnowsky. Keep defending Jake Moody. Because, people can whine and cry and, I'm not going to say the B word, but you know what I'm talking about how the block field goal happened. But he came up big. And that's like all people were whining about. Like, is he going to come up big in the playoffs? And he did. So just be you and enjoy it. And
well, I appreciate that. I do, and I want you. I'm gonna let you go here in a second, but I want to leave you with these thoughts and everyone else here. You got to think about it. If someone's your family or someone's your friend and they do something wrong, right? You're sad, you feel bad, right? But you still got to ride with them, right? You know what I mean? Like at a certain point, you ride with them until they tell you that they don't want you anymore, right? Or you see that you're not helping anymore. There's no more, right? But you always support that person because that's your buddy, right? Even even when someone's sitting in jail, you still like, that's my brother, and so you just gotta be proud of them people. And you miss a field goal or you hit the field goal. Hey, we're all human. We're all human, and we need somebody to have our back. Melissa,
No, but that's what being a fan of a player is. It's not expecting them to be perfect all the time. It's loving them when nobody else will, and still supporting them through the bad plays. And I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, name a player. Nobody's perfect every single day. So I applaud you. I still don't like that you're trying to make me love Kyle Juszczyk. It's never going to happen. But
I joke with you a little. It's all about words too. Like, we love us some juice, and but hey, I'm gonna let you go because we're gonna give everybody their individual shout and spot, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming, Melissa. Have a great day.
All right, we're gonna bring in our next guest. Thank you so much for patiently waiting. What's up?
Ooh, yeah.
What's up, my guys? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So we don't get to talk to you too often because you're a busy man some days, and being busy is not a bad thing. Remember, mental mindset, take care of the family and taking care of oneself. Then you can go from there, and you can get back to where you need to be, or but you already give me and David a great opportunity. Your friendship helped me and David get out on our own a little bit and start doing things with YouTube. And now it's fun because now we get to offer that same tree to you and say, come back in here, get in here. So with that all being said, how do you feel about the Packers? And how do you feel about last night's game? I'm going to give it to you. I want to hear what you guys say.
Man, so physically today, this morning, I feel like crap. I don't know what it is, if it's just a normal headache or what's going on, but I'm glad to wake up and know that the 49ers won last night, and I don't have to pinch myself. The Niners won last night, man. It was too close for comfort, man. It never should have been that close. That game plan, all week I heard other hosts of 49ers shows talking about how the players are so bought into the game plan this week. Well, I don't know if they didn't have a plan B, if they were planning for it not to rain, but it rained, and that game plan was not for the rain, man, not at all whatsoever. When you get in situations like that, I mean, we saw it in the Cleveland game. We've seen it in the Seahawks game last year where it rained in the first half of the playoff game versus the Seahawks. Purdy is not great at throwing the ball in the rain. It looked like he got a little better towards the end there. I don't know if it was just because the rain let up a little bit or what it was. But they need to start practicing with wet balls. No homo. Pause. Or something. I was expecting him to put that glove back on. But yeah, man, run the damn ball. Give Mitchell some touches, man. It's ridiculous. When you're in a situation like that, where our defense continues to get on the field and they're slipping around everywhere, and that's giving Green Bay the advantage. You need to keep the ball out of Green Bay's hands. How do you do that? You kill the clock. You run the ball. Run the damn rock. But no.
But no, I got to be all fancy and make my quarterback drop back and look good like the quarterback. Hey, at one point, they were dominating the time of possession. They were dominating the amount of yardage, and you're looking at it. And then at the end of the game, we definitely put on a different half. We came out to play in the third quarter and fourth quarter. But were you not nervous when it was 6 minutes or about 7 minutes left, and they had busted that big run and they're running down the field? And I'm thinking, we cannot let them go up 28. They cannot get two touchdowns. It was 21. They would have scored another touchdown, and we were like, I think only had 17 points or something. I was freaking out, man. Where were you at?
Nervous is an understatement, man. I was ready to fucking cry. I was ready to wake up today in the morning and hear the announcement that Trent Williams is officially retiring, and just all this crazy stuff that some of our great free agents were going to be leaving. You can only put up with this so many times, and for Kyle Shanahan to put the players in a position to lose in the big game year after year after year. To get there is one thing. That's awesome. But I don't want to just get there. I want to get to the big game, and I want to win it. And for these players to have to continually go through that, they're just going to get tired of it at some point. And I think if we would have lost this game, which we were very close to, and I thought we were going to lose that game, I still had faith, of course. I was still rooting for my team, and I was like, come on, let's effing go. Like, come on, guys, let's put it together here. Come on, Purdy, I got faith in you. But I was still envisioning. I was like, man, we're probably losing this game right now, and the chaos that was going to ensue this morning, or even after the game,
Yeah,
especially on Monday.
I'm just trying to keep it positive, and like in the moment of despair, at the moment of chaos, right? You need somebody in the room maybe telling a dad joke or being funny.
Yeah.
And so in my moment, I'm laughing chaotically, cackling in my out loud. You're telling me there's a chance after that field goal happened.
So you're saying there's a chance.
It was a miss. And I'm just sitting there. I'm thinking, man, I'm glad we got our guy, because there was a couple kickers we could have went in different directions. And yeah, Dallas had a great kicker up until like week 18, and then he missed a couple, and then he missed in the playoffs. And then here he comes, our guy, and he missed, and we're like, okay, well, he missed, but it was a block, right? So I'm like, okay, he kind of missed, right? Somebody got spirit fingers on that, right?
Yeah, I had some other Niner fans come over to watch the game with me, so that was cool. I connected through them. I connected with them through my job, so that was really cool. And now we're like really good buddies. They came over to watch the game, and they're like, "What the f, Moody?" I was like, "Dude, it's not his fault. It got blocked. That's not his fault. I think." Maybe he kicked it a little too low, but in my opinion, that wasn't his fault. So I'm glad he kind of saw it the same way. It kind of sounds like.
Yeah, that's just you gotta kind of give your guy a chance, and you want your guy to get up there and show everybody what he's got. And sometimes you're that kid that catches the ball in the outfield, and sometimes it hits your glove and falls out. And hey, but that's still your moment, right? We still got to see it happen, right? David, do you have any questions for Mr. Wolf?
So how do you think the team looked yesterday? Demo and Greenlaw came out, they were just fire the whole game, but I honestly think they looked rusty.
I just like I was saying, man, I think Kyle put him in a bad position. Supposed to put your players in a position to be successful, and I don't think that was the case. Everybody's slipping all over the place. They had to change their cleats. Like, that's stuff we should be prepared for before the game. We all have forecasts. We know what's going to happen. You have to game plan for that. And
with that, sorry to cut you off, but with that, you're telling me the pregame warmups, you're not noticing you're not even anticipating that there's going to be like a chance that, it wasn't like it was raining or it just started. It's been raining for the last couple of weeks. The moisture's in the air. So that's in the ground. So I get it. Like, maybe you don't want that long of a stud on your shoe when you're running because you want to be a little bit faster, and that much to compare to that much is maybe that moment you don't get tackled, right? But I don't know, man.
Ironically, that's the part that does make you faster, just like tread on tires. If you don't have traction on the pavement, you're not going to go as fast as if you have great tires that are going to grip the pavement like nobody's business. You're going to take off, and same thing with cleats.
Okay, so we got 2 games to break down, and then we'll probably wrap up the show. But Wolf, thank you so much for joining us, and we want to keep you on until we got to sing MICKEY. So I don't know who's playing first. I'm assuming what assume means if you break down the word. Is it going to be the Buccaneers and the Lions first? Is that our first game?
1 second.
But
I will tell you right now. Yep, 1 p.m. today, my time.
Okay.
Oh no. Yeah. What the hell? Oh, that's fine.
let's start out with you. How do you feel about that game? Is Baker going up there to cook? Is he going to cook up some Lions or cook for the Lions, or is he getting cooked for a Lion?
I mean, after that last game, man, he might just cook. That seems like it's going to be at least a decent game, and we'll see what the Lions are really made of against the Bucks. You know, they had that game against the Rams, and I thought the Rams were frauds. I still think it. Puka Nacua is a fraud. I
I
know
noticed.
some people disagree with me, but knowing
No,
the
you
wide
make
receiver, go ahead.
you make a good point. You make a good point. You're saying, like, because of soft coverage, he goes ahead and steals catches, and it's not necessarily stealing catches, but he's taking advantage of the soft coverages. He's exploiting it, and that's giving him all these bogus stats. But if he was contested, then he might not have these stats. And
Yeah.
man, see, because you played wide receiver, you had those kind of insights, those knowledge that it makes sense. It really does. David, how do you feel about the Lions? You think the Lions are going to be able to hold back Baker?
I honestly look at Baker Mayfield like, this former Raiders exec called him a great quarterback. He said, "You got 7 great quarterbacks and then you get Purdy." Lady, what are you talking about? You're talking about Baker Mayfield, like Jared Goff, he's a good quarterback. I wouldn't say he's great.
They're
It's
kind of like one and the same, right?
yeah, they really are.
That's what I'm
But
saying. So I think it's going to be more
I
about the
expect
weapons.
this to be a good game. I do. I expect it to go back and forth because Tampa Bay's defense, it's a veteran defense. They both have decent offensive lines. The Lions might be a better overall team than the Buccaneers. I expect them to win the game.
Yeah. I think it's going to be very similar to the Lions-Rams game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I would like to kind of see the Lions win. But honestly, I don't really mind either way. I could see the Lions playing a really hard game against us, but a different style game. And then I could see the Buccaneers playing a different style versus us, and just both putting up a good game. I would I just hope both teams go in today and they put up good points. And I'm not really hoping for any major injuries because again, I want to play whoever comes out of this. I want to play them at their peak. I want to see them at their top, right? So we have the Chiefs going to Buffalo, and I think this is Kansas City's first road game with Patrick Mahomes as the era throne. Yeah.
First playoff game.
Dude, how do you feel? Wolf, is Kermit the Frog. I like to call him Kermit the Frog. Is he going to go in there and is he showing, Bill's Mafia what's up, or what do you think?
Yeah, it's David first, right?
No, I asked you, and then we'll get David.
Oh,
we'll
okay. Just one last thought on the last one. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I want the easiest path to the Super Bowl. I want us to get there healthy. I know battle tested is a thing that people talk about, but I want to get there. I don't want to deal with this stress. I just want to get there and win the game. I'm tired of this over and over again, this nail biting, all this anxiety, the heart palpitations, all that stuff. I just want the easiest path. So I think that's through the Buccaneers. And so that's who I would want to see.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We already played them this season too. But as far as the Chiefs and Bills, man, that's another one that's sizing up to be a good game. Bills Mafia, I think is gonna be a Bills revenge game. It's gonna Mahomes versus I'm ever getting his name. Josh Allen. That's just sizing up to be a great matchup, man. Almost like a heavyweight boxing match, dude. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. I think I have faith in the Bills pulling this one off, being at home. The Chiefs aren't playing the Dolphins and pulling them out of pretty old Florida this time. They're going to somebody else's house that plays in really bad conditions as well, with a really big quarterback that can make a lot of things happen, which I know Mahomes can do too, but I don't know. I just got a feeling about the Bills.
Yeah, David, how do you feel, man? Bills Mafia and the Swifties.
I got the Bills Mafia beating the Swifties on this one. Josh Allen, he actually averages over 250 yards passing and over 50 yards rushing a game in the playoffs. And when it comes to KC, their offense has been suspect. You know, they got a good running back. That Travis Kelce isn't the same player he used to be, and their wide receivers are all young and dropping balls. You know, they lead the league in drop balls, and so they're not the same team they used to be last year or the year before.
Well, can't be dropping your balls unless you're a teenager.
No,
That's right.
it seems like Kansas City's really like kind of changing a little bit of the direction.
Oh, David.
Offensive drug or not, and then some of their offensive weapons seem to maybe overprice themselves. So they've kept like maybe the two fanboys of the group. They let the cheetah get away, or maybe he just was so fast he ran away. And then their defense got stronger along the way. But they did some things along the way and maybe dumped their garbage on us, if you want to say. And I don't want to call anybody garbage, but come on, the who was it? We got from Kansas City, and he played just a couple snaps for us, a couple games for us, and it was his neck, his back, his neck and his back. He's got bronchitis. You know what I mean? We're still paying for him, I think. It's not. Is it Clark? Is it Frank? I'm trying to think of his last name, but he was a defense tackle we got from the Chiefs, and he was cap. His numbers for the cap just really hurt us for a long time.
D Ford.
Thank you. That's why I didn't think of it. I don't like Ford, so I don't think of. All right, so I don't think of. So my brother's got my dad's got my brother's got a Corvette. You know, I'm sorry. You know, my dad traded a Volkswagen Bug for a Firebird. Okay, I'm just not a Ford guy. Okay, so we'll get into that, but. You have what we have right here, and I kind of got off topic. But going back to Ford, D Ford, and then Charvarius Ward. I'm not saying he's bad, but we got him from the Chiefs too, and the Chiefs they weren't very happy with him. So we've gotten some players from the Chiefs, and they've gotten better as a defense after getting rid of some of these players. And it just is funny because their offense was really here, and now their defense is here. So everybody is either looking at Taylor Swift when on the field, or they got too many rookies out there that don't know how to play the ball. And with Kelce, I mean, like Kelce and her are supposed to be getting married. So at a certain point, you would think that like the awe and the ooh, like you've seen her. Hopefully, you've seen her with the lights on and with the lights off. So you should know what she looks like. So every time you look up there at the box to see her, and it's funny because it's like the camera pans to him and pans to her, and it's just like it's almost like, hey Barbie. It's totally like it's like maybe they should have got Taylor Swift to play Barbie. I don't know. But I tell you what, since she became a fan of the Chiefs, his jersey sold so quickly, jumped in prices. Bunch of people became Chiefs fans. So I'm gonna take the Bills because I think the Bills are a team of destiny. But I would not be surprised to see the Chiefs go in there and somehow pull one out of their you know what.
Hoo-ha.
Right?
That's another thing. Speaking of jerseys, man, it's really bumming me out because I've been wanting to get a Fred Warner jersey, but I only like the throwbacks. I only like the red throwbacks, man. I'm not a big fan of our regular jerseys. I know we've talked about that before. So I've been wanting to get a Fred Warner jersey for a long time, and it's funny because I heard him talk about this on his podcast. Maybe you guys have heard it, but he's like, yeah, I hear from a lot of fans that my jersey's never available, and his wife's like, well, why? She's like, he's saying because I'm not like Kittle, I'm not like one of the main names, the McCaffrey, the Purdy. Those are the ones that they always have in stock. And sure enough, you know, I've been trying to find a Fred Warner jersey and I cannot find it, man.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I found it. I went to this website. It was called like fanatics.com. It said it was associated with NFL Shop and this and that. And so I ordered a jersey from there. I accidentally ordered two, actually. and the jerseys were only $40. And so I get it. It's not an authentic jersey, but it looks pretty nice. That's what I wore last night. It looks pretty damn nice.
That's sweet. That is definitely sweet. The other thing I would suggest, and I'm just thinking of talking to you right now, is maybe try to go on NFL.com and do the customize. And
I
then
tried that.
Okay.
Tried that. They don't have they only have certain sizes a lot available, which is only like 3X. So trust me, I tried every angle, and yeah, they only have certain sizes available, and it's stupid because you can't even pre-order. Like, okay, can I put an order in for when you guys can make this damn size? What's going on
wow.
here?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was I'm very proud of this. Shout out to Jess from East Coast Red and Gold. She helped push the idea, and she heard me talking. And I am probably one of the first, and maybe still only, official owners of Jake Moody jersey. But I went on NFL.com and I did the customized thing, and then I got my size. So but I did this back in June, I think. June or July. So not everybody's buying jerseys at that time either. Price, stock, and demand.
It's funny because you can get a Trey Lance jersey, you can get a Trey Sermon jersey, Elijah Mitchell. Because I guess nobody buys those jerseys, so they're trying to get rid of them. They're on clearance and everything. But yeah, I'll probably bring in the jersey in a second and show you guys real quick. It was pretty nice.
Well, I actually I need to end the show. I have a special guest and a visitor that showed up today, and it's early morning, so he's probably wanted a cup of coffee. And I don't get to see him all the time, so I'm going to have to ask you to show us that next time. I'm so sorry, but hey, if the audience would like to see it, you'll have to make sure the notifications are on and come back, and maybe we'll see it. And maybe we can get you to come back next Sunday if you have time, and do it in
as long as we're not playing.
Yeah, I don't know if we're playing. Well, I don't think we're playing
Sunday. I think we're playing Sunday.
Would both teams be on Sunday, or do you think they do a Saturday game?
So Ravens are set to play at 1 p.m. next Sunday. So we should be getting the night game.
Okay, so both games will be Sundays.
Yeah, because I don't remember who was talking about it too. We get that extra day of rest because we play it on a Saturday. That's the other thing. So Sunday night, probably around 4:35 p.m. my time.
Definitely appreciate it, and if the clouds and the hours and everything aligns, the planets, the sun, the moon, right? We get back here next Sunday, then we'll go from there. But thank you so much for coming, everybody. Please like and subscribe to the channel on both channels, David McNiner, my channel, and go check out Niner Gang right here. Niner Gang Wolfcast.
Yeah.
And
okay.
no. It's okay, because you know what? There's a lot of good memories on it. And if you want to go back and watch something, you're driving through town, or you're going on a travel visit, and you want to hear a cool dad joke, maybe one that I've told 4 or 5 times, you might go back and listen to it and hear Wolf or me giggling, or catch David and Wolf, or maybe again, it's all about time and experience, and we'll just say it, feelings, and we'll coin it again, the Moody season. Guys, thank you so much for coming. And David, send us out.
Hey, it's Go Niners. And as Corey Davis would say, F all 31 other teams.
Yeah.